Hey y'all, I was doing a little reading. I'm just getting on really quick. I was doing a little reading. You probably can't hear me because of that daggone the heat. I was doing some reading, but also the other day I heard someone trying to tell the story of Orishas, and they said some things kind of backwards. So I had to go back into my Portuguese to find out, because from what I know, she was incorrect. So I went back into my Portuguese, and of course, yeah, like I thought, she was incorrect. So I want to make sure. Now I haven't been initiated or anything like that into Ifa. I've just been studying about the Orishas. I want to know about them and what they represent, and things about them. And I also have a teacher. I do have a teacher that helps me. I would give y'all his name and everything, but nah. we got too many people just picking up magic and doing dumb shit to people, not even thinking about the stuff that they do. Oladumare, he is God. He is the God, the good God, the bonje, the bondi. He's God, okay? Obatala was a regular Orisha. Come on. Obatala was a regular Orisha. Hey, baby.
Hey.
Come on in and close it up. Obatala was one of the regular Orishas that was on earth. Olofin. He was the God, creator God on earth. Olofin woke up one rising and realized that he was getting old and that he was ready to retire from his job. He was ready just to go back to heaven and chill. So he went to heaven, and he spoke to Olodumare, and he told Olodumare that he was, he's worn weary and he's tired, and that he asked permission to put someone else in his place. So that's exactly what Olodumare said. He said the only way that you can retire is that you choose. You have to choose someone to be in your place as creator God on earth. So Olofin comes back to earth, and he called an emergency meeting, or called a meeting with the Orishas. Now, before I get into that, you have to realize that when Olofin went to heaven to talk to Olodumare, he closed the gates. He closed the gates from the Orishas from going heaven and earth, right? So first of all, Olofin was worried about that. He's like, I'm up here and I realize that you've closed the gates. How are my Orishas going to come back and forth to receive wisdom and courage from you and renewance in heaven if they can't get to heaven because you've locked the gate? And he said, well, I'll open the gate after you go back to earth and find out who you're going to replace as creator God on earth. So that's what he did. He opened the gates, let Olofin come back to earth. And Olofin, now while Olofin was away, things had gotten hectic on earth. Really, really hectic on earth. And the Orishas had no one to go to. And neither did the people. When the people would come to the Orishas, they had no one else to go to either. So, because they didn't have a creator God. You got it? So while he was gone, they didn't have help either. So some of the Orishas, they did what they could to survive and to continue to help the people do the things that they need to do on earth. One of the hardest workers was Obatala. Obatala was a hard worker. So Olofin had this meeting, right? He carried on this meeting to find a new creator God for earth. And when he held this meeting, all the Orishas, they were able to come to his kingdom, to his palace, but the only one that didn't show up was Obatala. And so Olofin was like, well, where's Obatala? And the others like, he's not coming, he's not gonna make it. But the thing is, Obatala had realized Obatala had become such a hard worker that he felt that he didn't have time. He couldn't go to the meeting. He didn't have time to go to the meeting. So he stayed on earth and he was working, didn't go to the meeting. Then finally he got so tired and so hungry. He was like, well, my work is done for today. And I know Olofin is having that meeting. So let me go ahead and go to the meeting. So he goes to the meeting. And when he arrives at the dinner, all the Orishas are sitting down in front of their placements. It's in front of their special placements. Like Shango, he had red and white. Yamaya, she had blue and white. Oshun had gold. All her silverware was gold. As a matter of fact, a little quick thing about Oshun was so impressed and so overjoyed by her place setting that Olofin had set for her, especially for her, with all gold, that she started to cry because her silverware was gold, her plates were gold, you know, things like that. So, all right, y'all, I'm at the house. I'll be back and I'll continue the story later. Peace. Okay, y'all. Yes. I said I'd come back later. I did. It's way later. Okay, so we were at the part where she looked at her plate and she was like overwhelmed with her plate. And I'm sorry, she didn't begin to cry over her plate. She cried over something else. But she was overjoyed by her plate. Oya sat at hers. And her burgundy setting. Oh, excuse me, y'all. So everybody was sitting down, eating, and like I said, Olofin was like, where's Obatala? And they were all saying that he's not going to be able to make it. He's working. He won't be here. But Olofin knew that Obatala was going to make it. He felt that Obatala was going to make it. So what he did was he took his time while he was eating. He ate really slow. And all the other Rishas, they had finished eating, and they started to grow impatient. They was like, okay, so when is this dinner over? When are we going to make this choice? What's going on here? And so Olofin kind of ignored him and kept eating really, really slow, taking it, bite by bite. Basically, he was waiting for Obatala to show up. So eventually, that's what happens. And all the Shango and everybody's like, can we be excused? Yamaya's like, can we be excused? And everybody's like, and Olofin is like, still taking his time. And all of a sudden, as he was about to kiss his fingers and touch his plate, which is a sign, kiss his fingers and touch the table, which is a sign that everyone could be excused. Just before he did that, the servants came in. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Just before he did that, the servants came in. And they, because Obatala showed up. So they replaced all of his place settings, which was white. Obatala is white. I mean, not his color, but his sacred color is white. So, they put all of his place settings back at, in his favorite color, which is white. And they wait for Obatala to eat. But the thing is, Obatala came late, right? Because he was working so hard for the people here on, for the people on Earth. So he was working really hard. So he got there late. So the only thing left was heads. Now we get into the pataki of Obatala eats heads. Now, that was the only thing left. Everyone else ate, all their favorite parts of whatever the meal that was there, whatever animal that was there, their favorite part. So Obatala ate the head because the head was the only thing left. So Obatala ate the head. Now Obatala, of course, he was hungry. He was really, really he was really, really hungry, right? Because he got there late and he's tired and he's dirty and he's sitting in this place where all the rich is looking nice and beautiful and dressed, and he's the only one dirty in his all white place setting. He's filthy. But he had to take his time and go really slow because the bones in the heads are really, really sharp. So he have to take his time to avoid being scraped and cut and nicked by those really sharp bones in the head. So Obatala finally, he as he took his time and he ate, he finally finished, come to an end. And so he kissed his fingers and he touched his plate. And all the other villagers like, yeah, all right. Like, we can get up from here now. Or you're going to make your choice now. Because they didn't know how he was going to make his choice. They just knew Alofi had to make a choice. Or who could be king or queen? Shango was like, I'm strong. And I wield an axe. I can protect the people. I should be king. And Oya's like, hey, Shango, I'm just as strong as you are. And as a matter of fact, I wield a machete. I should be queen. And Oshun is like, well, love is the most important thing in the world. I should be queen. You see, so everybody has their reasons for being king or queen. But again, Olofin, the wise one, he knows what to do. So, as he kissed his fingers and he touched his plate, he says, hold up, y'all. Don't move. Everybody want to move and run away from the table and go sit around in the parlor and try to figure out who's going to be chosen. But this is what Olofin does, the wise old one. Olofin says, so tell me, before we leave here, I'd like to know, Shango, out of all the meats that we've made here, and all the animal and all the food that was here, what did you eat? Shango says, well, he felt that it was a test because he was like, yeah, that's a strange question. What did I eat? He felt it was a test, so he puffed out his chest and he said, hey, I ate the tongue. And so Olofin is like, you ate the tongue? He's like, yes, I ate the tongue. I ate the tongue because the tongue has a lot of ashe. You can build a world by a tongue, or you can destroy a world by a tongue. The tongue has a lot of ashe. Olofin is like, okay, that's pretty good. That's smart. You're a wise one, Shango. Good. And so Shango thought, oh, I'm going to be king. And on top of that, I gave a great answer, and I'm sitting on his right-hand side. I am going to be king. So Olofin goes to the next one. He goes, so, tell me, Yamaya, what did you eat tonight out of all the meats that was here? What did you eat? Yamaya, or as some may say, Yamaya says, I ate the liver. Just as the liver cleans the body, my waters cleanse the earth. I should be queen. One of those type of things, Olofin goes, okay, you're a wise one too. You're very smart. He turns to Oya, and he goes to Oya. Oya, what did you eat tonight of all the meats? Oya says, well, Olofin, I ate the tail because the tail can whip things away. And I ate the lungs because the lungs is life. The lungs is the air, the life. Okay, so I'm back. I'm sorry. I take a little breathe. Okay, so he asked, Oya, what did you eat? Oya says, I ate the tail because it whipped things away. It scares things away. And she said, I also ate the lungs because without the lungs, we cannot breathe in your life. Right? So then he finally turns to Obatala. And he says, Obatala, what did you eat today? And Obatala's like, well, Olofin, I got here really late. And the only thing that was left was heads. So I ate the head. And so Olofin looks around at the table. And of course, he took very careful to pay attention to how Obatala ate that head. So he looked over at Obatala. He said, "The head you ate, and the head you shall be." And all the Orishas, they were shocked, because that was the way that he was actually going to choose the new creator of Earth creator. They were shocked about that, but also they were humbled, and they all prostrated themselves in front of Obatala after Olofin announced him as the new god of Earth. They all prostrated themselves. In other words, they bowed down in front of him and showed him some love. And Obatala asked them all to rise, and was humble and thankful for his choice, for Olofin's choice. And all of the Orishas were humble, and they were thankful for Olofin's choice. So in other words, they didn't hold no grudges, and they didn't try to get all stank acting with Olofin, talking about, "You don't know what you talking about, you chose the wrong one." No, they didn't do none of that stuff that be happening in churches and in groups today. None of that. Olofin said, and it was done. And that was it. You got it? So, that was just a little, Pataki. As far as I know, like I said, I'm not initiated, but I study. I study a lot. I study from people, I study from books, and I listen to my downloads. So, that's the story on that, guys. And what I found, Patakis they're like they are oral stories that were passed down from generation to generation, family to family. But they're stories to help you realize the importance of your wishes, and also the importance of your actions and what you do. So, enjoy today. Peace, y'all. Thank you for joining me. Peace.